Hi and very good day to whoever is listening. Today the topic I'm about to explain is transport in plants, specifically about transpiration and a little bit about guttation. Let's start with the introduction. Water is very important to the growth of plants because water helps to move mineral salt from soils to stems and leaves. Water also helps remain turgidity of plant cells to make sure it remains fresh. The excess water absorbed by plants is lost through the stomata present in the leaves in the form of water vapor. This process of evaporation is known as transpiration. Here is all the things you need to know about transpiration. First, it happens on hot and windy days. It also happens in all types of plants. Water is released as water vapor. Transpiration releases pure water. Water is released through the stomata. And finally, transpiration is controlled by the stomatal opening and closing. In order to really see the transpiration process, I have conducted an experiment to demonstrate the transpiration process itself. So the materials needed to conduct this experiment is plastic bag, a rubber band, and a plant. As you can see in the before picture, there is no presence of water whatsoever. Meanwhile, after leaving it for 2 hours under the scorching sun, water droplets can be seen. The conclusion I have achieved from the experiment conducted is that transpiration can be seen in the experiment when water vapor is released as an evaporative cooling system that brings down the temperature of plants. Transpiration happens when plant opens its stomata to let in carbon dioxide. Water on the surface of the cell of spongy mesophyll and palisade mesophyll evaporates and diffuses out of the leaf. Here is the effects if a plant doesn't undergo transpiration. The first one is optimum temperature of plants can't be maintained. The next one is temperature increase causes denature in enzymes and disrupt the biochemical processes such as photosynthesis and respiration. The third one is mineral ions can't be transported from roots to leaves for photosynthesis process. The fourth one is disrupted water transport throughout the plants will cause the plants to wilt. And finally, plants can die in the long run. Now I am going to explain a little bit about guttation. So what is guttation? Guttation is a secretion of water droplets to special structure at the end of the leaf veins caused by high root pressure instead of stomata, which happens in the transpiration process. So guttation is basically a different process of transpiration where water loss happens. Water will be released in the form of water droplets to a special structure called hydatoid. It usually occurs at night or early morning when the soil is very moist. If there is too much water in the soil, and when the root pressure is high, it will cause the water to squeeze out of the plant and onto the tips of the leaves, where we can see the water droplets. And finally, it happens when air humidity is high and surrounding temperature is low, which is the opposite of transpiration, where transpiration can be seen happen on hot and windy days. This concludes my project-based learning presentation. Thank you for listening till the end.